Well, there you have it. The Bus 13 portfolio's up over 80% year to date. Yeah, this is the portfolio that Jim Cramer's been ranting about all the time and saying, why isn't everybody following this? Why isn't everybody recognizing that the whole internet system is going to have to be upgraded? I mean, he was screaming about it, that the Bus 13 portfolio's up over 80% when the NASDAQ, it's about up 15% year to date. No, that's not true. That's not true. Jim Cramer hasn't said a word about it because he doesn't have a clue. Neither does Joe Kernan or any of the rest of them. They have yet to realize that the internet is the equivalent to that tube TV that we had back in the what was it, the 70s. It's going to be replaced by a flat screen. What? What's a flat screen TV? Well, you and I know what a flat screen TV is, and we also know that artificial intelligence is coming, and it's going to impact the data farms in such a way that they have all got to be upgraded. Well, Apple is all coming out and saying they're going to make AI apps. Well, do you think those AI apps are going to work on your phone or on your Kindle or your desktop? No. If you want to use the AI apps, you're going to have to upgrade your devices as well. You didn't know this? These companies, here it is. Look at them. They're at the bottom of this. They're the people who are going to upgrade everything you've got. I just threw, a Micron off because they didn't make money last quarter and don't think they're going to make money the next quarter because they didn't realize we're not going to have tube TVs anymore. We're going to flat screens. We're upgrading the internet as we know it. And Micron missed it, so we threw them off the bus. But don't worry, we got 3 other stocks that have made application. They're saying, hey, we can hit your 33% a year. We'll talk more about this after I share with you. This is no financial advice. This is pure financial education.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Do you know what this is? That's what we used to have. We called it a telephone, not a mobile phone. It was a telephone, and we even had party lines. That was that you had to take your turn with your neighbors to use the telephone. Well, that was all replaced, and now we have what we call a smartphone, a mobile phone, and we just accept it as, well, that's the natural progression of things. Well, that's happening again. It's happening again as we're being introduced to artificial intelligence. I first told you about artificial intelligence when Amy Webb introduced it to me back in 2019, and she talked about how the Big Nine was going to dominate the world and gather all this data, and artificial intelligence would come, and then shortly after that, machine learning, and then general scope intelligence, and oh my God, is it going to take over the world? Well, I don't know the answer to that question, but I know this is going to be obsolete. Yeah, just like this is obsolete now. So if we know that these things are going to change, then all we have to do is figure out who's the Apple, who's the Microsoft, who's going to facilitate this change. Well, I don't think you're going to change their position of Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and Meta and Google because they own the data. In other words, when we had this phone, we had phone lines. That was AT&T and the Bell system. And so they prospered as that whole area grew. Well, the Big Nine or the Big Six can still control the data, But the means by which they distribute that data is going to change, and that's what the Bus 13 portfolio is all about. Now, it's going to be a temporary situation because once we get updated and once Apple makes their AI apps and Google makes their AI apps and provides us with the ability to have access to them, and we now all have flat screen TVs or mobile phones, then the move is going to be who creates the software, who creates the means by which we can use this artificial intelligence, and how we can make our lives better from it. Well, I think the first and most obvious area of that is going to be the medical world. We have an aging population. It's called the baby boomers. There's roughly 69 million of us that are aging, and we're dealing with diseases that we inherited from our ancestors. They're called genomic diseases, and there's a whole thing going on about genome sequencing and genome editing and genome therapy that is designed to take these diseases out of our body. And then also with this artificial intelligence, we can take the 300 million molecules and sort them and find the vaccines and the medications that are going to make our bodies function better. This is going to be facilitated by the data of your body compared to the data of my body and somebody else's and billions of other people's body, and it's going to make our medical system more efficient. So I will build the Bus 14 portfolio to recognize who are the companies that are going to lead us down that path, much as I've identified roughly 19 companies that are leading us down the Bus 13 path to the new world of digital artificial intelligence, machine learning. Okay, you figuring this out? So this phone is where you should look to say, okay, how did we get from there to here? And then who facilitated the change and who's going to facilitate the change. I've shared the portfolio. Here's what we've got now. As I said, we threw Micron off. We've got three new applicants. Here they are. I'll spend this weekend. You won't see this till Monday, but I'll notify my Patreon members, the tribe that I speak to on a regular basis, and I'll notify them of these three stocks, which of them will make it onto the bus. Again, each of them have a different area of expertise that is going to facilitate this change that's taken place. So that's how I'm going after it. I've been in this business. I'm 78 years old, and I've been in the stock market probably for 50 years of that. So I know kind of what happens and how it happens. But I'll be honest with you. I'll make more money in the next 3 years off the stock market than I have cumulatively over the last 50 years. I'm convinced of that because Jim Cramer is not talking about it. Joe Kernan is not talking about it. Your favorite YouTuber is not talking about it because they don't know about it. They haven't figured out that this is the digital revolution 2.0, 3.0, 5.0. I don't care what you want to call it, but it's going to happen. It's happening. And this portfolio is evidence of it. It's up over 80% year to date, and it's just getting started. We'll talk about this, I am quite sure, maybe next week.